Hi, and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So excited. Okay, so let me show you where we are. We left off the last video with this. Okay, so you can see we did a background. We did our mixed media background, and we added a heart over here that we had painted the different colors, scraped it, added the color, however, whatever. Yours might look like mine. Yours might have your own colors. You might have done, you can see the difference where underneath where I did the Titan buff instead of the white, where if it was whiter, it would have stood out more. We're not done with the background yet, but we're getting there. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you, or I'm sorry, not today, this class, this video. You know what I mean. I'm going to show you a tissue paper technique. I just have tissue paper I got from the dollar store. This happens to have little sparkles in it. And this is what comes in shoes. So I'm going to show you two different things on here. I'm going to add, since you notice, which this, it doesn't really matter to me too much, but what I'm going to do is add a little bit of yellow in this. Probably, like a light yellow. And we're going to form out the heart over here, and you'll see. But I want to lighten up a little bit of these areas that I see, just a little bit, to add a little bit of, little pop, if you will. So let's get started. I'm trying to think what I want to start first. Let's do the tissue paper first, so I can kind of show you. Let me set that over here. We're going to move on down. Don't get dizzy. See my dogs. I love my dogs. Okay. I know. I'm a freak with my animals. And it wouldn't be any other way. Okay. So here we are. Let me scooch it over here. Okay. So we have this tissue paper I got from the dollar store. And it is, let me zoom in just a bit. Obviously has glitters in it. Very cool. So that adds a whole other thing if you don't want to stamp it. And this is tissue paper that came in shoes. It's a little thicker tissue paper, less see-through. However, as you can see this, you can see my fingers, and then this obviously isn't as thin. So it doesn't matter. We're going to have fun. I'm just going to grab a stamp that I had used on the painting itself in the background. And I'm going to use my black ink again, okay? You can use whatever color you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to ink up my pad. I'm not really worried about getting too much of a perfect impression. If I do, yay. If not, I don't care. So I have it inked up, and I'm just going to stamp wherever I want. Ink it up one more time for the other one. And on my fingers. See, that happens. We all drop. Okay. And then I'm going to ink up over here. Push it down. Add it there. And this is just to get the rest of the ink off. I think I'm pretty good there. Okay. Alright, so that is with the ink. Now I'm going to take my dryer, my heat gun, and heat set it. I'm not going to really worry too much if it smears when I put it on, but I'm just going to real quick give it a quick heat set on both of them. It's not going to make or break me either way of what I want to show you, because it's really, really cool. Now, everybody has a different aesthetic. Everybody likes things, more so than others. And what I mean by that, let me just move it back up. What I mean by that is, for me, this, to me, I mean, I would do probably a few more things on it, which I'm going to show you. And I'm happy with the background. I'm happy with a lot of this. There are a few things, again, that I'm going to show you and that'll make it look a little bit better, but it's all in what you like. Don't do art for other people, okay? Unless you're doing commissions, obviously. But don't do it for other people because you're not going to like it the same. Like, for instance, when I originally had done the heart and you saw the, how it was so pastel, okay? And then I went and added that dark spray on it. Well, I love it because when you see it up close, you can still see that. So it adds a dimension to it that you wouldn't get. You understand what I'm saying? So you might look at this and say, hey, I'm done. Or you might look at it and say, you know what, I'm going to take this, that, the other. Which we're going to do a few things right now, and I'm going to show you how to lighten up and then make the heart stick out a little bit more. So let's get started. I'm going to grab my paper towel. One to wipe. One to, I know, I could sing for you while I'm just going to take my brush, dry it off. Just dry it off. It was in the water, which you shouldn't do, but I did. So we're going to concentrate over in this area here, and I'm going to move this down just a little bit and just kind of show you, yeah. Okay. Whatever medium you used, your white glue with watered down, your Mod Podge, your Collage Pods, whatever you have, use. And let's do this one first, okay? And I'm going to put it probably like that. But first what I'm going to do is throw my glue on it. Now remember, it's tissue paper, so the wetter it gets, the more the glue soaks in, it's going to tear. Which really in the big scheme of things doesn't matter. We're just going to pull it out. Wrinkles don't bother me. It adds texture. I love texture. My middle name should be Kelly Texture. Kelly Texture. Call me KT. And then just go over it with your matte medium. Now you can see I have a wrinkle here. I really don't care. I'm going to push it down with my brush so it sticks down, stays down. And if you see, let me just get this on. If you see right here, you can see that it ripped a little bit. Look, it's on my finger. Do I care? No. Why? Texture. Now, we have that there. Now we have this piece. And you can see I kind of did like some stamping everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this piece. And I'm going to put it probably right here. So let me just take a little glue. Again, you put wherever you want. You want to follow what I do? Do it. Otherwise, do your own thing. Do your own thing. Because it's yours. Yours might look different in colors because you chose to use yellow, red, and orange. Yours might look different because you used, you know, this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter. It's yours. If it goes over the edge, like I have a little bit of that, I'll cut that off. Once it's dry, I'm not really going to be too worried about that. I'm going to run my brush over it. Now I got a little, see, I did a little bit too rough because I am rough. And I'm just going to pull that off, and you got a little bit of the purple peeping through, which I will show you. It's a purple peeper. How cute. Okay. All right. So because I did it in the two corners, I'm going to do it in this corner and this corner. And I'm just going to take this, and I'll probably just do, it doesn't have to be major. Majorly big, majorly small. And I'll put one over here. Like I said, you kind of want to do a one swipey. This is a little thick gel medium because it's at the end. and I've used it forever. And I don't really want to cover that blue I have there because I'll probably go in and add a little bit more. So I'm going to just kind of lay it like that. Go over it a little bit. The ripping usually happens because your brush doesn't have glue on it. You know, it's like kind of off, and when you go, you're actually dragging your brush, which the glue on it has dried. That'll go there. And gee, I wish I would have grabbed more of this tissue paper because I really didn't dig in it, but I didn't. Just gonna make sure that ends down, and then we're gonna go up to this corner, and I'm going to do a little square over here. And when this dries, you're going to see that you can still see the stuff that you did underneath, which is the coolest thing. Tissue paper is fantastic. And I'm just going to lay that there. Give it a little push. I got a little crease in there. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to go over it a little bit to make sure it sticks. Nothing fancy. And then I'll probably do, okay, I will do piece up here. Because you know, my brush had started to dry with the medium. Not taking my own advice. Do we ever? Great on telling you what not to do. Not good following it ourselves. Okay. Now you can see I put the glue over it and it didn't smear because it's a permanent ink that we used. If you don't have it, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you don't even have to stamp on it. Just wanted to kind of give you a way to make your own kind of scrapbook paper. And once this is all dry, you'll see. And this paper is obviously darker than that paper. Less see-through. But it's not going to bother us. So I'm going to put that little piece left here, and I'm going to put it down here just to kind of balance everything out. Not worrying about it hanging over. I'll just give it a rip for now. Give it a push. Okay. So, let me close up my medium. Let me take this up just a bit. Turn it around. And let you see what we've got so far. And give you a few tips while I give this a second to dry. Why isn't it going up like I want it? There we go. Okay, so here we go. And you can see our glittery one over here and the other ones with the stamps everywhere. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit of glitter to this, you could have added a little bit of glitter. You can add a little bit of glitter to your medium that you put on here. Just do a little mixture on your mat or into your palette with it and put some glitter in there, and you could definitely make this yourself with, this is just paper that came in shoes that I bought because I don't throw anything away. So you could definitely make this have glitter on it. Okay, it's not a, you don't have to have special tissue paper. So here you see we have our heart. So what I'm going to do first, as these dry, and I can see like a few bubbles when I hold it up like this, so I just push it down. Otherwise, what I do when I go back is I'll just slice them. Put a little glue under it, and because you're not hurting anything. And we're going to go over this with a little bit of color, so you'll see. But see the difference, see how clear this is, and you can see what's underneath of it. That's so awesome. So let's go. Let's work on, let me think. What do I want to work on first? Maybe we'll work on, and what color do I want to use? I think I'm going to use a little bit of black. I'm going to squirt it, excuse my arm, into my palette. Just a drop or two. Might even water it down, but just that much, nothing. I'm going to squirt my finger. Oh wait, I'm right-handed, not left-handed. And I'm going to stick it in the black just a little bit, see how it runs, it's inky. And I'm going to take it and kind of outline. And I'm only going to do a little bit at a time. I'm going to kind of rub it, and you're going to see. Let me give that a squirt. Because I want it to kind of outline the heart before I start adding my, and look at that, how it just makes it pop, just like that. Maybe I'll just water down the black ink, the black paint, and just keep doing it. I know you could, you put it on thick and you just keep kind of rolling it. Doesn't matter if you go over what you just did. Just do section by section because it'll dry. And you could do a little spray of the water. Because you kind of want it to blend, but you want it to like give it a pop. So it's bringing it, popping out where the rest will be in, and you'll see. If you look at this and you don't like, oh, I don't like that extra black that kind of bled out, it's no big deal. We can wipe it off. But it's not a big, you want to give the heart form. So again, my finger, and I'm just going to run it up the heart. Little spray of water. Now, if you look at this, it's bleeding into it. You might like that look. I might leave that in there. Actually, I'm not taking that off. If you want, you can continue doing how you've been doing, but guess what? I'm leaving that because that's a happy mistake that I just made. Not even a mistake. I say it's a technique. Now watch, the rest of it won't do it. But I'm just going to give it a nice spray. And I'm going to like lean it up towards so it's only going to bleed in one way. Now you can obviously control which way you're going to. But I'm going to have it like that, and then I'm going to leave it sit. Now I'm not going to keep it running all the way. I'm going to kind of like lighten it up a little bit because I don't want it to too much go into the middle. So again, you're just giving it a clean wipe so you still have your underneath. We have some puddles, and I'm okay with that. Let's finish up around our heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it run on the one side, but the other side I'm going to wipe it off. So it's cleaner on this side and kind of runnier on this side, if that makes sense. Although that's running pretty good too. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to kind of give it a pat to make it stand out. Doesn't have to be perfect. We can go and touch it up. And leave this run a little bit more, just for a second. And then I'll probably go in with my paper towel and just kind of soak up, just kind of lay it. I don't necessarily want to press it too hard. I just want to kind of get up the extra water. digging on that. I want this to run a little bit more right here. And then I'll just basically touch my towel in it a little bit. Add some texture with the way it's running. Oh, I'm loving it. Let me blow it dry. Wipe up my little bit of... I'm loving it. Go in and kind of sponge it up a little bit. Any extra, puddles. And we'll go in and play, like tighten up everything. But I want the heart to stand out. I want, when we're done with this, for you to see the heart as the main... But look what that did, how it made it stand out. That now you see it's a heart. So now let's work on these. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of yellow. Matter of fact, I am going to use a little. I don't know why I say I think. I think. Go down there. I'm going to use just a yellow, light yellow. Because I think it'll set off really well. Add a little bit of the brightness. So I'm going to put just a little bit in my palette. You can use your finger, you can use a tool. I'm going to use a few of these different things, like I've shown you, the what you get with your fruit or vegetables. And I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to use my makeup brush. Hold it down between my fingers and concentrate on this spot right in there. Just a little bit of the yellow. And just dab where I'm holding down. And lift it up. Now, I really need to get that held tight. I should cut it, but not really worried about it, because I can, if it's not how I want it, I can fix it. Yeah, I'm not liking it, so we're not going to do that. So what we'll do is just add yellow with our... See, it happens to all of us. I'm going to add some yellow in. No rhyme or reason. You could take it on the edges and cover, color in. And you see, it's just adding. If you want to spray with a little bit of water and blot up some, you can do that. We're just going to add punches of the color on places where now this itself can be a great texture tool too, because you can just do, obviously, splots, rectangles from the makeup sponge itself. But I'm going to do it in a way that it kind of highlights the heart with the black without taking away too much. Yellow and purple go great together, so. I love it. Okay. Look how that made the heart pop. Just pop. Might want to go over the edges here just to add a little bit of that yellow. Pull it in. Pull it in down here. Okay. Loving it. Okay. So let me look at it. Maybe just a little bit of yellow. It's just the excess on here that you have from doing it. Just to give a spot of yellow. And then like pull it out. So you're pulling in the yellow, but you're not really putting in the yellow. Do you know? Does that make sense? Now see what I did here? My tissue paper wasn't dry there, and I accidentally pulled it up. Am I really concerned about it? No. I'm just going to put my finger in my black a little bit, give it a little dot, and then start the process over again where I blend it in. And then I'll go over it again with the yellow once it dries, and I'm not worried about it. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay, so we need to pull some of this pink out here a little bit more. So maybe we'll cover this with pink. Should I do the lighter pink or the darker pink? I think I'll do the lighter pink over here. Just going to do a little squat. Take my brush, dry it off. I'm just going to run over it. And you'll see a little bit down here. Not too worried. Spray a little bit of my water on there. Take my towel, use this one, and just give it a yeah, that's cool. And then just a little rub of what I have left here. I'll probably pull some pink in there. Okay. Oh, I love it so far. Woo! Loving it. And I love the yellow. I got to go over the yellow a little bit more because it's a little green mixed in with the... And it's dry. I mean, it was dry underneath, but I guess the black. But I'm not going to worry too much about it. And if you don't want to do the yellow, don't. Do a different color. Don't do any. Just do the black. I just love to play. I like to see how far I can take it. Love to see how far I can take it. And when you have extra left over on your fingers, just pick a place and add it. It doesn't matter. Okay, now let me just give it a little squirt of water, just because it makes it move better. Now, if you want, you can definitely water down your acrylic paint before you put it on. I like to put it on straight so I can kind of see where it's at and where I want it. Not going to worry about it getting on the heart because I can add more of the purple on, or I could just blend it in. I'm not worried about it. I can go over it with black again if I want. But you'll see when you add the water like I just did, what it does is makes it very easy to wipe off if you get it onto the other part. Now, what I see that I'm loving, let me just get this cleaned up here. Okay, what I see that I'm loving is the way it's kind of making a texture with my paper towel here. And I only want it on the one side. I don't want it on the other side. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay. So, let me dry. And it's just the ittiest bit of texture, the littlest, itty bitty piece. So I just want to get it a little bit dry with my heat gun. Doesn't have to be perfectly dry, just, you know, just so it's a little tacky. So I'm looking, I'm seeing, I need a little, I have purple sticking out here. What about, I think I'm going to try the, now this is still a little tacky too there, I can feel. I'm going to do a little bit of the regular pink and just put a little bit on my finger. Because we're going to put words on this, so a lot of this is going to be covered. But I'm just doing this with my finger, and I'm going to go over. Let's make sure you can see. Over this to get it covered, just like we did. Using my finger, it doesn't matter. I'm pulling it in, leaving that little purple tear there because I like that little peeping out. And then what do? I'm lifting my finger over there. We're going to give it a quick squirt. And we're going to pull it up. Pull it this way. Just very lightly. So you can see the paper underneath. And we have a little bit over here in my leftover. And I'll probably do the same over here. A little bit of water. Give it a nice little run in. See if I can get any texture from that. Now I got it all. Okay. Oh, sweet. Oh, I'm loving it. Okay, so this is a little bit stark when you look at it. So let me show you this way. It's still wet. So we're gonna mute this down a little bit, but we're gonna keep the yellow. But do you see how with adding the black and then the yellow around it, and obviously you can see certain things are still wet. And then there's like the sparkles and all. But do you see how it makes it pop? And then the background goes into the background. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to finish my tissue paper pieces on here with the colors. And then I'm going to look at it. And we're going to finish it up. And then my quote I'm going to write on here is, all you need is love. And you think of the quote that you want, whatever it is. And you can use that, or you don't have to use a quote. But look at the texture. I know the yellow is a little, for some people that's much. For me, I'm really digging on the yellow. But I know that some people aren't all like me. And, you know, so we'll mute that a little bit. I want to put some more purple in. So let me grab a great purple. Let's see. Metallic amethyst. Let's try some metallic amethyst. If you don't, just use whatever purple you have. I want to add a little bit of, just kind of like a, it's really not going to matter too much. It's just a little bit of dab in here and there to bring more of that purple in. And I'm just going to use my little makeup brush, makeup pad, and I'm just pushing it on my paper towel for a minute just to get some of that extra out. And I'm just going to work it like this. Work it like this. You don't want to lose the color underneath, but you want to add a little bit of that in there. And it's great because the harder you push with this sponge, it'll come out more. Do you know what I'm saying? So up here we have it. I gotta remember where I put it. And it's just a little bit of color. It's not, you're not overpowering anything. It could be a regular purple. It could be any color you want it to be. Now, just kind of dabbing it. I get lost in what I'm doing, so if I get quiet, I apologize. I'm going to use a little bit on this yellow just to kind of mute it down a little bit and blend it in, which I'll probably need a little bit more. I'm sure. A little bit more. Because I like that muted, like the muted colors it's given. Like it's muting that yellow down, toning it down enough that I'm really liking it. Yeah. I get so happy. I know, I'm crazy. And if you don't, you know, some of us have, how you say, chronic illnesses, and I know that pouncing hurts. So don't pounce, then just wipe. Because anybody can do this. I can do this, you can do this. There's no reason you can't. But do you see how that purple just lightened that yellow enough, made it more of a mustardy color, but still left that brightness? And that is gorgeous. Plus you get a cool shimmer. Okay. So let me hold this up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm loving on it. Now I'm going to go over this a little bit more with another black outline so I didn't lose it. But this is going to be like making this look like it's popping out almost. And then you have this gorgeous background. Okay? So let me do that, and then we will do the wording, and then we'll do our finishing touches, and then we should be pretty done. I know, I'm a goofball. Excuse me. Alright. Let me just take this here because I want this to really accentuate my water bottle. I know, you can see how much I use this water bottle. I accidentally hit it with the heat gun one day. I'm just going to give it a little squirt where I just put the black to kind of rub it because I want that to be pronounced. We don't want to lose the heart with the yellow. But this is just another layer. You can go in and clean up if you want with a little. If you have a Q-tip, or you know, you get those very cheap at the dollar store, a box of them, and have them in your supply. Mine are over there, but I'm gonna go get them. Just gonna use my little paper towel. A little bit more black in my palette. Nope, stuck my finger in the yellow. Didn't necessarily want to do that. Okay. All right. See, if I can do this, anybody can do this. That's how easy it is. Now I know you're like, oh, she's going back over again. Yes, I am. Now some might like it that dark. Maybe I'd leave it that dark. I don't know. Maybe I will. I'm trying to decide. I like the watercolor effect. I can't help it. I'm going to have to do another one. My next one. I'm just going to give it a little spray. And just kind of run it down. Run it up. Again. Take it on your finger. Kind of give it a... Because like I said, you want it to look, I don't want to say handmade, because although I do like that, I know some people get offended because my art is handmade. But I like the way that, I just like the way it accentuates the heart itself. So I'm kind of like half and half there. I'm kind of like digging on the solidness of it, but yet I'm kind of picking it up a little. Do you know what I mean? Like taking it up, and you still see the yellow, and once I zoom in, you'll be able to see much better. Now over here, I lost the whole line, as you can tell. No fear, my finger is here. And it's like just rubbing it on. I do small sections at a time because I don't want it to necessarily dry. Now, is it going to run again? It is. And I'm just going to clean up the point a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm not perfect. If you are, send me your or know of anybody who is. Can you send me their book? Because I could use it in many areas. All right. Art's not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be healing and fun and experimental and just beautiful. I might be doing this and you look at it and say, you know what I'm going to do instead? And you do it and it is the way you love it. Does that make you right or wrong? Makes you, you. Right? Isn't that what we're all supposed to be? Okay. I'm really happy. I just need to do this little bit right here. Not liking that. And then this right here. So I didn't go over it. That's where I wiped it before I decided I was going to keep it. Okay. So, again, going to kind of lightly dab. Not going to worry too much about cleaning up the heart. There are some areas that I just want to kind of make a little bit sharper. But it's not a big, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. It just makes it look that much better. To me. I need a little bit more there. Okay. And once it's dry, if we have little areas that we want to go back and touch up with a little black paintbrush, definitely we can. So let me just hit the gun on this for a minute. It should dry fairly quickly. I see a few places that I could do. I'll touch up. I'm not worried about it. You're always going to have a touch up or two at the end. But you'll see, like, once things dry, sometimes it pulls away, sometimes it'll lift up apart. It doesn't matter. You just go back and fix it. Throw a little glue under there, use a toothpick, throw glue under there, little paint, whatever you got. Oh, and I just got another idea of what we can do. Alright. One thought at a time, Kelly. Okay. So, let's turn you this way. And see how we're doing so far. What do you think? Let's see how close I can get you in without making my camera fall. I'm good for that. I don't know if you guys have seen my YouTube videos, but sometimes my camera falls in the middle of me doing things because I forget that I'm taping or recording rather. And, you know, I'm good for that. At the end, I'm going to have a final picture of this, so you have a way better. It's kind of hard on camera when I'm all over the place and trying to, you know, figure out, so you can see everything good. Okay, so let's move this up a bit and move this in and over. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Okay, so here we are. Some of my favorite things, let me point out just to give this another second to dry, is, now let me see if I turn this light on. If this will help. Don't know. I have a light when I do my videos. Oh gosh, excuse me, that was my chair. Okay, let's see if that helps you see a little bit better. Don't know, it's not really doing much. Maybe that'll work. because I really want you to see these colors. It helped a little bit. Okay, let's see if we can turn it this way. Now let's talk about a few things while I'm giving a minute to dry. We did our backgrounds. We did our, you can see what we're going to do. We're going to do our words over here. I'm going to put all you need is love. I did my heart. Now, if you want, you can just paint your heart on. You don't have to do a separate paper or anything like that. You can just paint your heart on. It's up to you. I like to do it this way. I think I have more control. But sometimes I will do a background and then sketch on it and paint it like that. So that, you know, is something it depends on my mood. Okay. So we did that and we did our outline. And then we have this beautiful heart. Our background, you can see, here's our tissue paper. You can see glitter and all through it. And when I'm done, I'll show you close up each section, you know, so you can see it up close. But I'm just giving a, you know. So we did our heart. I did mine on a kind of a slant. And I did it with complementary colors. And we did our, you know, our colors on there. I brought some yellow in. And I outlined it in yellow and then just did a little bit of a darker kind of blend in there. Kind of made it more shaded over on this side than this side. The background, we have all the colors that are going to pull in. And once I get the lettering on, then I'm going to look at it as an overall balance. And I'm going to see what else I need. I'm looking at it now and I can see that I need more of this dark purple. And not necessarily metallic. I need purple. So that is something that I will add on. Where is my other purple? Yeah. That is something I probably will add, will go at the end. So now is the time to look at yours and say, okay, now, is this done? It could very well be done. There's no problem with it being done. I love it like this. But I'm going to add some words and just a few little touches here and there to kind of make it cohesive in a sense, to bring out some more of these different shades of the purple into the background, which we already have some of the metallic, but I want to bring out a heavier purple. Yeah, so let's talk about lettering real quick. Lettering can be done in two different ways. Lettering can be done, you can take a stamp set with letters and stamp your words on. You can take a marker, black marker, whatever you have, and you can write on your quote. You can also print it out on your printer. I advise to print it on cardstock because when doing transfers or anything like that with an inkjet printer, if you use regular printer paper, what happens is the ink sits on top of the paper. So when you go to glue it on, it's fine as long as you carefully put glue on the back and then stick it down. Okay, using your glue stick or whatever. If you do like we've done these things, where you put the glue on the top or anything on top, it's going to smear it. If you use cardstock, when it prints out, the ink seeps deeper into the paper. And cardstock's very, very inexpensive. With a coupon, you can get it for $2 for 40 sheets. And just save it for those type of things. Or use your mixed media paper, rip it out and put it in your printer if it's the same size. Or you can just take your paper and write on it and then glue it on. I think that's something that I might do. So I can kind of give you guys an idea. Let me see. Let me grab a piece of paper. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so loving this. Okay. Let me set this over here. I don't know if... Is that enough on there to write? Probably not. You will notice with me, I save these pieces because this is what I cut my heart out of. But I could use this and write the words that I want. Let me see if I can. I'm so frugal, I swear. It's awful. My husband's always like, is this garbage? No, 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 no. I'm going to use, let's see what I got. You can use your black, paint too, or whatever color you want to do, if you don't want to use black. So on here, I'm going to write, I should probably take this off, because I've been also known to write over the line. I'll take it out like that. I got that a little wet when I touched it, but I'm going to write. And then go back and paint. And just go back and make it thicker. Now I look at that. Do I really dig that? Oh. I'm not real sure that I really like that. I think it might be too thick. So I'm going to throw that away. See why you use scrap paper? Let's try with this one. I'll do like that. Yeah. So that's all. And then I'll just tear it. Let's see if I can get you right here. All you. I might be able to make it. Let's see. I'll just fold that down. All you. Need. I'll tear that. Oh, I might be able to do it! Alright, let me just tear this little piece off here. All you need is I think I might have done it. Do this in the big one. Hold the paper. I don't know if I'm going to keep the heart, but look at that. I did it out of my scrap papers. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so I know silly little things make me so very happy. Okay, so we're going to place these first. Now, if you don't want to do like this, you can do stamps. You could just write this on here if you want. You could do whatever way you want to do it. If you want to make them a little darker, let's see, we'll put all you. I'm going to cut these in a minute, you'll see. I just want to kind of have an idea. So see how that's going to look. Now, one of two things we can do right now. We can highlight these, we can cut these and highlight them before we glue them down, or we can glue them down and then highlight them. I suggest we highlight them first and then put them down. That's my suggestion. What you choose to do is all for you. Let me just, I see the L here is a little. Okay. Okay. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and just tear around the edges. I don't have any rhyme or reason, no measurement. I just want it to have like a terry kind of feeling to it. Torn kind of feeling, rather. Not a terry kind of feeling. We're not aiming for perfection. So we have all you. So proud of myself. I didn't have to rip that off first. Start up here. You can use the decorative scissors to cut these so you get what you're looking for. You know, like a nice edge. You can use regular scissors and make it straight. You can do whatever you have or want. Like I said, paint it straight on, write it straight on. I'm not looking for perfection. This can be a bit tedious, but it's easier when they're the bigger pieces of paper. Now I want to decide if I want that heart or not. Not real sure, since the picture is a heart. But I figured I'd draw it on anyway, because if I decide I want it, I have it. If not, I can just cut it off. Rip it off. I know, how fun to watch me tear paper. Alright, so we got that. Let's bring our bad boy back. Okay, so we're going to be working over here, so. And I want a placement because I want to know whether I want the heart or not before I do what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it kind of crazy. All you need is love. And I'm going to take the heart off. And if I decide at any point I want it back, I'll put it back. I'll just glue it on separately. Take the love. Okay, so what color are we going to do this outline? Where are we going to make this? I think we should do the purple. And what we're going to do is we're just going to line them out. I'm going to bring it down. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of my purple. I'm going to squirt it in my... I keep sticking my finger in that yellow. It doesn't even look like there's no yellow in there, but guess what? There is. I got to clean my thing out too. Okay, so just a little bit of the purple in there, and I'm going to give a squirt of water. And I'm going to mix it up with my finger, because that's just how I roll. Okay. And I'm going to start out on a piece of scrap paper that I ripped so I can see the consistency of it and kind of how it is. So I'm kind of happy with that. And I'm just going to do another little dip, little tap, and I'm going to start going here. I'm going to take the awl. It's almost like you're inking it. You don't want to hit the word necessarily, so you can still read it, but you want to run the color around it so it blends in. You can use a brush for this. I probably should have grabbed a brush, but I'm not really worrying about it too much because you'll see what we're going to do in a minute. But right now I just want to get this part done. And I'm just taking it around the edges. Not worrying too much about it. And it's okay, you go over the word a little bit because we're going to go over it to go over the word. But I want to get this part. See how this is a little bit too long. I just want the outsides done first. Now you can go like this if you want. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. Well, if you have fat fingers like me, it might end up like that. But we just want to kind of get it around. And on our love. Okay. So you see our letters. Now I'm just going to take my paper towel and just kind of blot to get the excess off around so it's not majorly, which the first ones were better. And then I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to put it back in my thing, and I'm going to dab it. So I'm dabbing most of the ink off, or the paint off rather, I'm sorry. And then I'm just going to kind of go in and give it some of the purple. Just a little bit, nothing major. You want to use a paintbrush for this, by all means. And because we didn't treat the paper with gesso, it's going to sink in, which is what we want. Because we want the black. We can go over the black once the paint's on, which is not a big deal. You know, to make it come through. But you'll see what we do. Okay, so that's that. So that's love. Let's do our need. And you can see how quickly it dries once I touch it because it just sucks right in. And because you used either paint that has dried or you use permanent marker, any color, it makes it a lot easier. I see on here, I gotta do it all right here. Not too worried. Okay. So I got that done. Now to glue them on. And I'm just going to use my glue stick and start with all. And I wanted it like this. What's nice with the stick glue is that you can move it wherever you want. You set it down, you don't like it, you get a second, you can move it. You can tell my hands are a bit sticky from the paint and everything, so. Now, let's do something fun with that, since it's not sticking out as much as I would like it to. First, we're going to go over the words to make them really show up. Since the paint muted it down a little bit. Now you can do it the other way, paint the paper and then write on it. It doesn't matter. It's all on what you want to do. You'll probably need a little bit more glue on this one too. But see how that sticks out a little bit better? Okay. Oh, loving it. Okay. Put a little bit of glue there. Now, what color do I want to go around this? I might do, a little glue there. I might do black. Let's use the marker and outline it. So I think I'm going to do that. You can use paint. I just happen to have my marker sitting here. Any black, Sharpie, Bic, permanent marker will work. It's running out because of the... Oh, I love it. Okay. I love it! Let's turn it this way so you can see it. Look how awesome it's looking. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. don't even know if I'm going to do anything else on it. So excited. Okay. I think I'm going to call this done. I am. Now, let me give you a few things before I show you the whole basis of what we did. If you don't like these extra little lines in here and you want to go over it with, you know, to fill it in all the way or whatever, be my guest. If you want your words to be in here, all you need is love, by all means, do it. If you want this sealed and you've used markers that are waterproof or paint and everything's dry, you can use your solution that you used, whether you're white glue and water, Mod Podge, whatever, and give it a quick coat so it seals it. You can do that. You can put a hanger on the back, very inexpensive, you can buy at the dollar store, and hang it. You can set it on your wall. Something I want to show you really quick is when I'm done with paintings, especially on flat boards, if I'm using a regular canvas, I will probably use paint. But I just take my black marker, excuse me, excuse me, and I run it, and it'll run off sometimes, you know, and I give it a nice edge. That way then your white isn't showing on there. Or you could paint it. When you're doing your, I'm doing this right now, so let me just, then I'll show you. Or you can paint it when you're painting your base coat. So there's 1,000 different things you can do. This is a beautiful first mixed media project to do. I don't even want to add anything else to it. I was going to do glitter and this and that, and I thought, no, I'm in love with it just like this. So let me hold it up and we'll start this corner. This way. And then I'll have a final picture for you. So those are the words. Okay. All you need is love. Bottom of the canvas. Going to move over. Get to the top of the heart. All the way over. And turn you this way. And see it go into the, I really want you to see the heart, but let me get you this side of the heart. See that? And the heart. Let me get you up with the heart. Look how awesome the colors are on that heart. And I love the little bit of yellow in the middle. That it just really makes the difference. At like a little bright spot. See, and then you have this. So let me set it down. And there you go. There is our finished mixed media project. You did it! Yay! Now, don't forget, sign your work on the bottom. Sign it with your marker. Let me turn it around. I will sign. I always do K and a heart. And then 2012. Okay. See? So I am so looking forward to seeing what you guys do. And any questions or whatever, don't hesitate to ask. This is a great beginner project, very limited amounts of product needed, and just your imagination. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you leave me great feedback so I know what you loved and what you didn't like about it, what you'd like to see in another class. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for being a member of Crafty Link. I love the community. I love the people there. I love all our members. And many blessings. I hope that you really enjoy this and really see that you can do mixed media, very simplistic and very inexpensive. So thank you guys so much. Let me just wave a goodbye. Not that you need to see me because, but thank you so much and have a great day.